Renee Summerour here with the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and we're talking about a new $20 million steakhouse located on the Strip. For more on what this restaurant has to offer, we are sitting down with Review-Journal food enthusiast Jonathan Wright. Hello, thank you for joining us.
I'm excited to talk about this place.
Okay, so this place actually has a really funny story, and you talk about it in the intro of your story that is on lvrj.com. But tell us more about this $20 million steakhouse and the story about the champagne in the women's restroom.
Yes, so the plan was to have bubbles in the bathroom, the women's bathroom. The health department played party pooper and put a cork in that idea.
Dang, sound like fun.
I think it was a good idea.
Could have been fun.
But the place is spectacular. A year ago, I broke the news first. We had an exclusive where we learned it was coming to town. And it's at Harmon and the Strip, next to the shop at Crystal's, on top of the 63 development.
And it's called?
Ocean Prime.
Ocean Prime.
And there are other Ocean Primes around the country. But even in Vegas, 20 million is a lot. I mean, that is a big number. But it's 17,000 square feet. They're including a 2,500 square foot terrace. The restaurant has been bought out for several $1 million by a private party for F1 weekend. Because the terrace overlooks the turn at Harmon of the route for Formula One.
Wow. So I'm assuming just like they've done at several other restaurants in that area, that those tables or that area of the restaurant is going to be a hefty price.
Yes, someone bought it out. I was there for the Golden Knights parade. It's one of the best spots on the Strip to watch whatever's happening.
Obviously, the ambiance is great, but how's the food?
I'll get to the ambiance first. I mean, it is Vegas, right?
Right.
You have to pay to make a splash at this point, right? I mean, the owner of Cameron Mitchell Restaurants, Mr. Mitchell, just said, you know, it's Vegas. We've always dreamed of being here. Go big or go home. And he went $20 million big. The food is a fairly traditional steakhouse fare. There are chops. There are seafood. There is, cocktails. There's a really amazing wine list and wall of wine. Chilled seafood. So it's fairly traditional. There are some signature items. They have a dry ice seafood tower. So there's billows of dry ice, like when it touches down. There's a 10-layer carrot cake. So
you must really have to love carrot cake for that.
Yeah. A few layers is enough for me, but it's dramatic. I had the blackened snapper. I thought it was delicious. The Caesar salad was delicious. Classic Caesar. The service is impeccable.
Talk about that, because I know a lot of restaurants have part of their ambience and part of the serving experience. I know a lot of what they would call more fine dining restaurants, they'll have multiple people serving you at a time, making sure that you're well taken care of the entire time you're there. Was that a similar experience?
Yeah, sometimes in Vegas, the service, even in fine dining, can stumble. Especially at restaurants that are too trendy, that are like half nightclub. But this is really like classic service. There is a flotilla of people. I mean, coming and going. I like a lot. I mean, at those prices, I like a lot of service. I mean, I want a new fork with every bite almost. I mean, at those prices. And it is expensive. But it's wonderful, really wonderful service. And I'm someone who, looks for service.
Absolutely.
At the upper end. If it's a coffee shop, who cares? But when dinner is several $100s a person, service needs to be there, and it is at Ocean Prime. So it's open for lunch and dinner. Lunch is unusual these days in fine dining. There's, even on the Strip, there's much fewer of it than there used to be. The service, as I said, was impeccable. It's what you want at a fine dining restaurant. It's not obtrusive, it's smooth and professional, and they come and go and you don't realize it, and then all of a sudden you're on your fifth martini.
Right, like you said, the flotilla is flowing there.
Right, the flotilla is flowing.
We want to make sure we have good flotilla everywhere we go.
Flotilla is key.
That is key. Jonathan, as always, thank you so much for your insight on all things on the Strip and off the Strip when it comes to food. And if you're interested in Jonathan Wright's stories, especially when we talk about Ocean Prime, the $20 million restaurant right here on the Strip, you can go to our website, lvrj.com/food. Thank you for joining us. Until next time.